Healing through family dynamics. This is such a profound part of your healing journey. Our family dynamics offer us one of the biggest insights to what we as individuals need to work through in any given moment. Ram Dass had a really awesome quote, and this really rings true within my own experience. And he says, and I quote, "If you want to know how enlightened you are, go on holiday with your family for 1 week." Now, there's a lot of depth and truth to why he would say that. Because along our spiritual path, our ego takes multiple forms and shapes, and we can convince ourselves that we're ahead of the game. We don't need to expose ourselves to anything anymore. We can just shut ourselves off into meditation. We don't need to, when we smoke, don't need to be in any kind of situation anymore because we've surpassed and got to a certain stage. And there's some real powerful blind spots here to learn. And I've lived and breathed everything that I'm talking about today. 100%. I've had moments of total ignorance to where I actually am in the road and path to healing. There's been moments when I've spent times gathering spiritual information. I've been really tuning into spiritual teachings, spiritual teachers. And for me, there was this really like no man's land phase of absorbing so much information about how things are working out here, why things are playing out the way they are. And it was the phase of integrating what I was learning, which actually created an element of avoidance to diving into the world. There was this sheepishness of wanting to go in because I was unsure about how I was going to integrate all of this in that I was learning. Massively overcomplicated it. And it wasn't till I actually started purposefully exposing myself to certain people, situations and circumstances on purpose almost, that I really started to learn about my edges of what needed light to be shone on them. My family was one of those edges. I went through stages of avoiding my family. There was a time when I actually went quite insular, reclusive, and I just want to know that it is totally natural to have those phases. We're going to have what we would call the hermit phase. We're going to pull away from the world. And I feel that it's in those moments that we're learning, developing and evolving certain capabilities and capacities to be able to go back into the world stronger. Sadhguru has just come to me now. He said about meditation, if you don't go back into the world after meditation with more awe, love and reverence to the world and everything that's in it, something is off. And I've experienced that as well. I've experienced having moments of deep meditation, processing, and I've gone back into the world and I've been like, oh my God, what is this about? What is this about? It really brought up more and more, and this is what it's doing for us. It's uncovering these deeper layers of anger, of aggression, of sadness, of grief. It's bringing it all to the surface. And I went through these stages of avoiding my family, but then I dived into and had these massive revelations and realizations that my family are here. We've chosen to be here energetically. Prior to embodiment, we've obviously made some kind of agreement to be here now together. And what is the reason for that? And it is an individual journey of understanding love. It's understanding the roots of what and who I am. It's really starting to understand what stories I'm projecting onto the world. And I really started to notice that really profoundly of what I was projecting onto my mum, my sister, my niece, my nephew, start to really see things through a really profound window of the shadow that was being projected onto them. This is really powerful shadow work happening with families if you're open to see this. Our families will show us and reflect back at us those deepest, most repressed and suppressed areas that we've neglected and are like our blind spots of awareness. Our blind spots of where we're not being fully honest and true to ourselves with what we are projecting onto our family. If I'm not putting forward or shining the light and love of the universe onto my family, then it's something else that I have made and constructed myself within my ego framework. And my ego framework is made up of fear, anger, grief, apathy, shame, pride. That's all of the mechanics of the ego right there. And it's from that ego construct that create all these stories which I then project onto those people that I'm here within that deep connection and resonance. Sometimes you'll feel like you're so detached from your family. Sometimes you'll feel like that black sheep. I'm sure many of you watching this now will have that feeling of being that black sheep of the family, just not feeling like you're connected to them in any way, that you feel quite separate to what they're going through. And that's totally fine as well. That's totally natural. But when we come into this depth of learning in our own evolution, it becomes very apparent the responsibility that it comes from me and you. As we come into these realizations, we essentially are guiding our whole family network with how we feel and what we resolve. The more that we recognize our blank spots, resolve our suppressed and repressed emotions, we resolve those stories, we start to break the circuit, and we start to project our innocence and our love, which comes from this dismantling of what's happening. We then start shining that onto our family, and it's that shining on too where we start to guide our family dynamic and structure. And a lot of responsibility comes with this. So much responsibility comes with this because you're essentially guiding a whole network of frequency and vibration from your nucleus stance of wanting to come to truth, coming into truth. So you coming into truth has a really powerful energetic field where it will naturally help others come into their own realization of truth, of their own truth, but singularly and paradoxically, the one truth that we're all coming into realize right now. That's what this healing awakening process is about. It's coming into this, it's coming back to truth. Take us to truth, however that may be, however on the surface and appearance how painful that may be at certain stages. But beyond that pain, the recognition of the pain, the dissolving of the pain with our own compassionate, forgiving, loving inner eye, do we help resolve and holographically help others resolve as well? Not just ourselves, not just our family, but collectively there's a spread and a ripple from this of you coming back to truth, coming closer to source, coming back to the love of God, the love of source, that inflow and outflow, and that inflow going back more so to this source-like singularity point that kind of is making sense. So really feel into your family dynamic, feel into what is occurring in your life right now, and really find out what story are you projecting onto your family. Where do you need more forgiveness? Where do you need more love? Where do you need to come into a more attunement into your truth in the intention of helping you and evolving you, but also everyone in your environment? I had a really enlightening phase where I had this profound realization of all the projections I was projecting onto my family. I had a really clear moment and I was just observing them all. And it was almost this on my knee, inwardly on my knees moment, like, oh my God, I just thinking and feeling everything that I was projecting onto them. And for that moment, I saw directly into the truth of who and what they are, simultaneously me and simultaneously the whole field of what was happening. And I had multiple moments like that of this real deep revelationary quality to this human experience of what is happening. And from that, it's just deepened and deepened my love, compassion, forgiveness, and devotion to this journey. And this has all come from the relationship dynamic and healing through family wounds. So, my friend, wherever you are with your family, start to observe your family dynamic. Start to feel into and observe the nuances of how you communicate, how you are when you are with them. What stories come up for you when you're around your family? What inward narratives come up? What emotions come up? What feelings come up? Be with them, surrender them, and come into that state of benevolent, infinite, divine compassion to simultaneously help you all evolve in this now moment, taking us all to truth. Take your family and everyone in your life to truth from your deep realizations and revelations. On that note, my friends, sending you so much love, coming in hot today with this. Super excited that we're on this journey together. Share in the comments where you are with your family dynamic. I would love to hear more about where you are. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here, sharing this story, this journey, this healing with me. When you're here receiving me, that's all part of this healing process. I'm here to receive you. You're here to receive me. It's this giving, this game and dance of giving and receiving, which happens in the YouTube world. So, my friends, looking forward to seeing you in the next video, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.